I've spent the last 20 years analyzing the global restaurant business from the inside out. I've studied the consumer habits and actions that feed this business every day. Innovation is found in places where few might look. It's where the real heartbeat of the restaurant business lies. Sometimes it's beneath the known Michelin stars or the glitz and the glamour of the posh addresses of the best restaurant districts in the business. I'm Paul Barron, and this is my show. And I'm in search of amazing food, stellar service, and that unforgettable experience. Welcome to Table 42. So here we are at the Surfcomber and a great place called the Social Club. Guys, thanks for letting us step into your bar and restaurant.
Thank you for joining us.
Coming.
Chef, before we get started, let's learn a little bit about who you are and kind of what you do and where you've been.
I've definitely been all over. I started born and raised in Northern Virginia, so I've been cooking around the DC area for years. But
okay.
I actually left there on a little hiatus and hit up Charleston, South Carolina for a little while, then Colorado, and then New Orleans, and then made my way back up to DC. And then now I'm here in Miami.
So Chad, you are the head bartender here at the Social Club. How'd you get in the business?
Literally the day I turned 21 was the first day I stepped behind the bar.
Oh, wow.
And been bartending ever since. Started out in St. Louis, my hometown. Moved out to Seattle, bartended a little bit in Honduras, back to St. Louis, and now I'm down here enjoying the heat and making some delicious cocktails.
Let's just get started with what we're looking at here.
All right, so first up, I did an ancho garlic shrimp. So I'm taking U10 shrimps, which is a very similar, well, fairly large shrimp, encrusting it with ancho powder, some fresh garlic, some fresh herbs, a little bit of cilantro, some cumin and black pepper. So you got a little bit of heat going on with the shrimp. To kind of combat that and balance out the dish, on the bottom of it is an avocado gazpacho. So it's going to bring some brightness and some balance to that heat that you find in the shrimp. And just kind of on that same trend with the avocado, some roasted pistachio. Pistachio and avocado always go well together.
Yeah.
Combine that with some fresh tomato and some fresh herbs. It's just a really bright and flavorful dish.
Yeah, and you don't typically, I mean, even though seafood is pretty big here in South Florida, you don't typically get to see it with, these types of herbs and flavorings and seasonings. So was there an idea behind that when you guys started building this one?
Big and bold is what I wanted to do. You see a lot of shrimp dishes here in Miami, but I wanted something that stood out both in spice and balance. That really had a little bit more than the usual suspects.
Yeah, sure. So Chad, how do you match this up with a cocktail?
Exactly the same as Chef's thought process.
Okay.
This cocktail is based with Oloroso sherry. It's nice and rich, a little bit of nuttiness, which is going to go with the pistachios. That richness is going to help cut through the spice of the ancho on the shrimp. And then to kind of complement that, a little bit of bitter, Luxardo bitter, and that's going to help cut through that avocado as well, the same way he's playing off the avocado and the ancho, same way with the cocktail, and then just a slight bourbon backbone with a little bit of rhubarb bitters just to brighten it up, same way the tomatoes are doing for his dish.
Great. All right, so Chef, here we are in dish 2. What are we looking at here? This looks amazing.
So these are St. Louis style ribs, made with a little bit of tamarind-chile glaze and served with a jicama slaw. So this is very old school technique, meets kind of Miami flair.
Yeah.
So it's actually a 5-day process between marination, brining, and sous videing and smoking, and then kind of served with a local flair, which is a tamarind sauce. So tamarind you see in a lot of Caribbean cuisines, a lot of Florida cuisines. Mix that with some smoked peppers, a little bit of honey, start making your own little barbecue sauce.
Ribs are usually kind of a signature thing in the South, so
they are.
You to bring something like this down to Miami, you've got to have some guts.
I do.
I like that. So what would you pair this with, Chad, on a great cocktail?
So this is our New Dawn Fades, going with this intensive process with this smokiness. He does an ancho chili rub on this.
Okay.
I wanted to use some mezcal. So to kind of cut through a little bit of the smokiness, I infused it with fresh lavender petals. And then to tie in more with a little bit of honey, there's some lemon juice and then orange liqueur. Again, all these flavors are tying in exactly with what Chef Blair is doing. And then just to brighten it up a little bit, because ribs are a heavy dish, a little bit of plum bitters just kind of perks the cocktail right up. Perfect compliment for the ribs.
You know, and bitters, a lot of people don't realize that is one of those things that kind of cleanses the palate. You know, when you get into like eating red meat and things of that nature, where you need that kind of that fresh approach toward a dish like this. All right, Chef, so here we are with your third dish. What were you thinking here?
So there's a lot going on here, actually. This is a little play on tuna carpaccio. What I've done here, instead of pounding it out and laying it out flat on the dish, I've actually made more of a canapé style.
Okay.
Kind of a twist here is that I serve it on top of a bene wafer, mixed and topped with some pickled radish, some kaffir aioli. So it's kaffir lime leaf that's been infused into olive oil, and then olive oil is made into an aioli.
Great.
What that kind of compounds off is that pickled radish and that fresh tuna, and then the sesame that's in the crackers. So you've got a little play on some Asian flair, some carpaccio flair, and then some southern flair.
That's pretty creative, you know, going all over the flavor palette, it seems like.
It seems a little wild in choice, but it works out beautifully.
So that's got to be a challenge, Chad, to try to put a drink together with this.
I actually got pretty excited about this one because tunas can be a little rich, and with the sweetness of the bene, and then you also have the nice, really citrus bite of that kaffir lime. So I took Capurro Pisco is very jasmine forward, so to further enhance it, I infused it with some jasmine flowers.
Okay.
And then just kind of reaching around with all the influences, took a little bit of Banana de Brazil, which is a Brazilian banana liqueur, and then a house-made blueberry cordial that we have. So playing off a little bit of the sweetness with the bene, and then a little bit of lemon juice, kind of with the citrus with the aioli. Put it all together, and what you get is a really nice light complement that's going to perfectly accentuate every single bite you take of that.
Interesting. Great matchup. I think this is one of those that you could go a lot of different directions. I like the way that you guys have put this one together. Great job. Okay, Chef, so here we are. We're going to wrap up the show here and head to your front of house with your GM. But before we do that, we got to check out this last dish. What do you have here?
All right, so last but not least, we've got some fresh ricotta donuts.
Okay.
So we make our own ricotta in-house, mix that with pretty much our own little donut batter, fry it to order, serve with a little dulce de leche and some powdered sugar.
Nice.
It's really just a kind of a light, airy into your meal, kind of sweet and decadent, but light and airy at the same time.
Yeah. So Chad, with donuts, you got to have a great cocktail with that, because that's not a normal cocktail.
Absolutely.
dish.
It's a perfect end of the evening. So like Chef said, it's a little lighter, but it is a donut, a little bit rich. So to play with that, use a little brandy, and then to lighten it up, a little bit of fresh squeezed pineapple juice,
Okay.
touch of coconut liqueur, and then since no donut's complete without coffee, a little house-made espresso syrup, and then to finish it off, just a little bit of chocolate bitters, kind of round everything out, and it's a perfect pair to end your night.
Hey Kurt, here we are at the front of the house now. We've had a chance to spend some time with your chef and your great mixologist in the back of the house. This restaurant's kind of unique in the sense that you guys have a wide open space here. It's right in the front lobby of the hotel. I mean, what was the thought behind that? What was kind of the theme you guys were going for?
Well, the whole theme is more based on our name, which is Social Club. We want to be more social, want to be more open to people, be a little bit more inclusive rather than exclusive, which is kind of the reputation of Miami Beach.
I think what you're seeing now with the restaurant space, the scene itself, overall, we're seeing a lot of very innovative concepts where they're opening things up. You're seeing the open kitchen concepts, all the way from fast casual to fine dine, upscale dining. everybody's kind of opening up this whole theme of really letting the guests kind of experience just the entire space. Do you feel like that's just one of the big draws here?
Yes, and like I said, on the communal feel as well. I mean, just on the design aspect, it's talking points. You know, from the Banksy kind of books that we have into the front lobby to the artwork that's on the wall. It's social, so you can have conversations when you come sit in. It's not just about the food as well. It's meeting people and being social. When you come to some of our communal tables, so you can sit down next to somebody and you may not know them that has been traveling, because it's very transient in Miami. Hence why the hotel they've come. You can meet somebody or meet some friends that you may not know right next door.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey Kurt, this has been fun spending the day with you guys here, learn a little bit more about your menu, your beverage program, but best of all, I think kind of this whole concept of what you guys are trying to do in hospitality. It's really neat that the Social Club and Kempton are really putting the two pieces of true hospitality together. Thanks for letting us stop in.
Sure, my pleasure. I appreciate you coming down.